Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to do another reading journal page. This time it is the Beauty and the Baller. And you can see that I've kind of set up everything with the flowers and the footballs and the other images. You saw these last week when I was trying to squeeze the two books onto one spread, and I was not going to be able to make it work. So this book is a romance book, and don't worry, next week I will have a book that is not romance. It's going to be a nonfiction memoir, which I'm excited to document. So for this one, I have just the yellow flowers and also the footballs, which feels like a weird combination, but you know what? I'm going with it. I'm even going to throw in some blue and some green with my stamping and just have fun playing with my stamps and making a page that represents this book as best as I can. It was a really great book, and I actually listened to the audio, and one of the things that I'm going to write in my thoughts later on is how I loved the narrators. Like, they picked a guy with like a gruff voice, I guess you could say, and so it was really great. And the way the two characters met, Ronan and Nova, how they met was very unique and not something you usually see in a romance book. It was through a one-night stand. It had to do with Star Wars, and it was a bad one-night stand, which was hilarious. I found a football image on Unsplash. It's the website where you can get free, basically free stock images. So I use that a lot for my reading journal. And Ronan was a football coach, a high school football coach, so that's kind of why I wanted to include that football picture. And Nova wound up getting a job at the high school too, so it all kind of worked out. I am taking the footballs and cutting them like in half so that way I can add them to various spots on the spread, and adding in the flowers in different spots as well. I grabbed a few stamp phrases that I want to use: rooting for you and getting better each day, plus heck yes, I'll add that in just a second. I'm also going to throw in some arrow stamping, that way I can add in some blue from the book cover and also from the football image. So I'm just making a really huge kind of not funky, but like I completely kind of did a cluster totally around the book cover. And it turned out really good because I wanted to include all the colors from the book cover and also the football image. I even did my stamped sentiments in green, so the getting better each day and rooting for you, those are in green, which normally I do my stamped sentiments in black. But this time I decided, why not? Let's just do them in green. And now I'm stamping some arrows in different directions throughout the different spots that I have where I've put kind of my different embellishments and stickers. The other thing that I'm going to add is just a little flower stamp in yellow ink for just a little more pop of yellow. And once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and I think the next thing I'm going to do is start on my synopsis. I do have to stamp the rating. I wind up putting that down in the bottom. I also found, like, in my reading journal stash a die cut that says good read, so I went ahead and used that, and next to that is where my rating is. And again, I'll put the genres and the book number, but I'm going to do that later on. So the synopsis, I've kind of already told you about it, but I loved this book. And the fun thing is that I have Kindle Unlimited, which, you know, there's a lot of romance books on Kindle Unlimited, but this one actually came with the audio. So it was really fun to listen to, and I actually cleaned my house the whole weekend while I listened to this. So my house has never been cleaner. All right, the synopsis, kind of already told you about it. It is a sexy NFL quarterback named Rowan. His whole life completely changes when he loses his career and his fiance in a car crash. He's full of grief and doesn't know where to go. He's at another party when he sees Princess Leia. Nova Morgan decides to crash an NFL party and is dressed up as Princess Leia. This leads to an awful one-night stand with a former quarterback. 2 years later, Nova moves back to Texas to raise her sister. And guess who the neighbor is? The neighbor is Ronan, and the most eligible bachelor in this small town. Everyone's trying to set him up, especially the nosy neighbor that he has. And so he decides that him and Nova should fake date. And of course, that leads to them spending more time together, developing feelings for each other, and deciding that maybe this is something that is real and something that they should pursue. So my thoughts were that, like I said in the beginning of this video, I love how it started with the awful one-night stand. I thought Nova and Rowan were both very complex characters who had a rough few years, but wanted to make the most of life. So there was a lot of growth for both of them, especially in terms of kind of learning to love and give love a chance. I really enjoyed the small town aspect with the high school, the nosy neighbor, the side characters, and just seeing them at the high school together and basically having the same job. There was lots of steam in this book, lots of steam, and there was just some great tropes in here, including the small town, fake dating, and grumpy sunshine. I'm going to squeeze in room for 2 quotes. The first one is, "I knew exactly which road to take, and it was back to you," which I really loved. I felt that's very poignant, especially for Rowan, who had been through so much tragedy with the car crash and had his life completely change with just that one moment. So the quote that I have on the bottom is, "Beauty is how we go on, the life we create around us, living a life that's meaningful. I'm not sure I'm there, to be honest. I'm trying hard. We all are," which, wow, I really thought that not only summed up the book, but also it's just a beautiful quote in general. So that is going to wrap up my spread. I hope you guys have enjoyed another reading journal spread. I love making these, and I'd love to know what you are reading right now. Right now, I am reading Maybe Another Time, and I'm listening to Ordinary Girls. All right, I hope you have a great day. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. All right, bye.